into this, man. So today we've got this beast right here. A lot of different colors, a lot of different things going on, and you know, everything pretty much touches each other. There's a lot going on, right? But however, so when looking at something like this, trying to figure out your print order, what I like to do is I like to look at, first off, what's gonna be flashed and what can go last, right? At first glance, the first thing that'll jump out at you, and at most experienced printers, what's gonna jump out at you is this blue going dead last, right? This is the thing about that, right? You got your blue there, all right? And there's a white, but there's no underbase. So you would think you could just throw the white in one of these first two. The thing is with the white, and you can't see it on the mock-up, I can't even see it on the mock-up, there is an outline. You see that? There's a whole outline, and then you got all of this detail that's gonna go on the inside of the navy. So the white has gotta go last, as if it did have an underbase, okay? Let's go ahead and throw that in there. Next, I'm looking at this big blob jumps out at me, okay? So you wanna find out which screen that is, because, you know, that one, we wanna get that flashed. We wanna put that right before a flash as well, right? So, put that here, and we'll move that in a second. So what can I put next to it? It's a very faint, a very faint $74.99 that goes there, right? So I'll go ahead and put that first. Why not? We'll put that first. And this plate, if you can see some text here, it kind of borders the navy. So it would be good to have this flashed before we print the navy. Now, what do we got left? We got our navy plate, right? This navy plate, usually a dark color doesn't necessarily have to go right before a flash, but there's just so much coverage area. I'm gonna go ahead and put this before a flash, right? So we have our flash units, the things we want before the flash units, we have those set. So now what we want to do is figure out which colors can be stepped on. And the rest of the colors, they're not so, there isn't so much, oh, hey, Neil. Hold on one second, y'all. Hey, hey, this 124 has 1245 in the screen.
124.
Okay. Yeah, Georgia Tech is 124, no doubt about that. So, all right, so from here, right, we want to look at the colors that can be stepped on, right before the navy, and it's going to be right before the white. We want to think about that, right? Okay. So, what do we have here? So this green, I think this green, we should be good with this green. They'll kind of fade into the blue. But I'm looking at what's gonna give us the least amount of damage. Okay, so look. Okay, so this green and our 124, they kind of touch, so let's get those separate, right? Let's separate those. In fact, we could put, let's put this 124, let's put that right before the navy. right? Put that right before the navy. Okay. Now we're left with two more. We got our 171, our orange. We've got our orange, and we've got this green here. Okay. They don't touch one another. I'm gonna put the green. You know what? Let's put the green here. There's no underbase underneath the green. So even being stepped on twice, it should maintain its opacity. The 171, there's no underbase. Let's step on this one time. If we step on it more than once, we might lose some flavor. That's what I mean by opacity. We might lose some flavor on it. You know what I mean? So there's our print order. Now it's time to load up these screens. Okay. We just go ahead and move this squeegee and flood bar to our white plate. All right. That little purple off of there. The 74.99 is damn near white, and I mean the tiniest bit of interference will turn our color. Let's get these colors in now. Once again, y'all, ladies and gents, all my future screen printers, all my current screen printers, all of you captains of industry. Once again, y'all, look. We've got 7 colors, right? 7 colors, okay? I'm only gonna use one palette knife for all 7 of these colors. Why? How are you gonna do that? By not being a lazy prick. Let's start with our first color. And before you dump in your ink, make sure you're checking your ink, your number. Well, you can't see it now, but you know, make sure you're checking your PMS numbers before you dump your ink in. Okay. What's our next color? Here's 171. Where's the 171 at? There we go. It's not the 171. That's right. And yeah, I don't know if you remember earlier, I was asking Boss Man So there's a little discrepancy between the color on my on the mock-up and the color that's in the screen. On the mock-up it said 124, and in the screen it says 1245. I don't know if you guys remember me asking Boss Man, when you get that, if you ever see that type of discrepancy, ask somebody. Don't assume, don't just ask. However, I will say this is Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's main colors are 124 and like 533, or it's either 533 or 299, one of them two. It's a navy, but we're not using that navy on this one. But anyway, 124 is what we usually use for Georgia Tech. So even in a case where you know, okay, we always use 124 for Georgia Tech, for example, you still want to ask, because you never know. You never know. Sometimes, you know, these sometimes customers, you know, they want something new. You know, it happens. So whenever you see that that type of discrepancy, make sure you ask. Don't just assume, oh, it's this, oh, it's that. All right, and then that way too, you know, that way too, if it is wrong, it's not on you. Have some time for that 2380. All right. Offloaders, look. 1, 2, 3, 5 colors. Well, offloaders. 5 colors, and I'm using the same palette knife. Look at that, man. Look at God. This was kind of tough. We might need a little reducer in this. You know what? Let's get a little reducer. This is wait a minute. This is, yep. Can you see it? Soft base. Basically just reducer. That'll soften up the ink a little bit. And I just want just a tiny bit. Just a little bit. What up? And speaking of this, that reducer, or the soft base, but you know, traditionally we call it reducer. If you use too much of it, it will change the color of your ink. It will. So use it sparingly. Now look offloaders, look. Same one. And you guys saw exactly how I did it. Don't play dumb. Presets. Let's go ahead and preset all of these screens real quick. My presets, basically, our pressure angle speed that we're going to start off with, right? On every screen. Every screen is starting out with no angle. No angle. Okay. Every screen starting out with no angle. 50 psi. Make sure they all no angle, 50 psi. Okay. It's a little bit much. Okay. Gonna line this up. You see that navy, right? Y'all see the navy? The navy is pretty much our focal point, and everything kind of borders it. So we'll print that navy first, and then set all the rest of the screens to the navy. Okay. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, man. It's a nice stroke. And this job, the heads, I think we're gonna run the heads a little slower. You know what I mean? Just to make sure we get every bit of ink out there. I mean, you can see straight through the screen. That's how, I mean, that's how you know that. I mean, it didn't leave any type of trace. All right, now the fun part. Let's start with this white.
I'm surprised you ain't put the blue first.
The blue first? So, yeah, hold on. Like, if we were running an underbase,
Yeah.
then I probably would have. But really, another thing, my other thinking was, there's so much of that blue going down.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get it to right. I didn't want the print to muddy up as we go.
Okay. That is gonna be hitting all the other screens and shit.
Right.
Okay. It's gonna get muddy. I take that into consideration because I remember on the other ones, like a similar one, you would have had the black versus stuff, but I ain't taking consideration no underbase.
Yeah, no underbase. Yellow looks pretty good. Oh yeah.
Everything black.
All black.
All black.
All black. So
It's gonna sound lame, man. It's gonna sound lame. But have you put on your clothes in a full mirror yet? Have you been? And I want the store cap in the bottom. Too bad.